Warning, this video is intended for adult collectors. It contains plastic collectibles, questionable opinions, and the #1 enemy of translucent plastic. It's too late. Random review is about to begin.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the TJOmega channel and welcome to the new review stage. This has been lovingly built over the course of approximately a week so I can give you a more consistent and controlled way of doing my videos. And despite how cool it is to review toys in an actual toy shop, I need to be able to do this from the convenience of my home, so here we go. This lovely review stage that was probably way too expensive and I don't want to think about it. But that's not the point. The point is, I got a couple more Wild King toys to talk about, and since we blitzed through the energy beasts for the previous videos, now we can kind of take our time and look at their wave mates. So we'll do this one at a time, and we are going to start with the other of the energy beast, I guess, animal tribes. This is Hydrophant, our first, our next quadruped, I guess. So yeah, as you can guess, he is the water element that is going to be on Optimus's team, and looking, well, strangely proportioned for an elephant. So, as you know, now keep in mind, I'm going to have to explain Wild King to everyone watching as if it's the first time you've heard it, because I never know which one you're going to click on first. So, suffice to say, Wild King is a series where the smaller beasts, the energy beasts as such, these are all going to be engineered pretty much exactly the same way. The parts on this toy do differ quite a bit from the previous ones we looked at, but the overall structure is exactly the same because they all have to kind of transform and work the exact same way. That said, obviously, this is a far cry from the long-legged Light Long or the bipedal Captain Volca. This is much more sturdy, much more thick, thanks to how the legs have folded up to make the rear side of the elephant, though it does lead to him being, fairly scrawny for an elephant. The two-tone blue does look really, really nice, as does the silver plastic that is used for the majority of his inner bits and bobs. And yeah, fairly nice. I mean, I like the head design too. We got these two giant cannons for tusks. I always like using cannons for tusks. I will give him credit for that. And yeah, a little bit of blue, and then the eyes are painted as well. It's a nice looking elephant. And there is a little bit of function here too. So you can adjust the angle of the tusks if you wish, and you can also raise up the snout. So a little bit of function. You can even fold out the ears. So yeah, pretty much everything you'd want an elephant to do, at least in the head. You know how you see those elephants, moving their tusks up and down, like an elephant can do, Okay, maybe not. What you're not going to get is leg articulation. You can swivel these just above the knee, or what would be the elbow on you or me, and you can hinge them, because these will become his elbows, but it's not going to lead to much, because the back legs are all pegged together for the transformation, and they're a little bit too thick to do anything anyway without looking a little bit odd, so you're kind of stuck like this, unfortunately. But still, nice little beast mode. Quaint, cute. You can see these energy beasts are actually quite small. I equate them to maybe like 2000 Scout class toys. So, something somewhere around there. It's hard to find a modern equivalent size to them, unfortunately. Okay, that said, let's get this one transformed so you can see the robot mode, and then we can get into everything else. You're going to remove his butt. That's the most important thing. Go ahead and fold all of this out. The goal here is to get these feet to be the feet of the robot mode. You're going to be working this double hinge for everything in his transformations. So make sure that it is folding the right way during transformation. Just make sure everything is nice and flush together. Go ahead and open that up. I'm going to raise this. Elephant head has to be removed like so. And then, if you've seen these before, the transformations are going to start looking very, very similar. We'll take off that energy shield as well. Go ahead and open this up. Lower that down. rotate the waist 180 degrees. Now, open up the back, flip out the head, close the whole thing back up. We're going to rotate the forearms like so, just above the elbow, bend them just to give you a little bit of definition. And then that's going to go across his chest as a breastplate. And just like that, you have transformed your Hydrophant into robot mode. And looking fairly good here. I am very, very happy with how he looks. Now, granted, it is a very basic transformation, but these toys are going to be doing a considerable amount, so simple is kind of not surprising. Now, we do have the matter of the elephant head to deal with. So go ahead and flip those 2 pegs down to reveal the one peg to rule them all. And then that's going to peg into his shoulder, just to put that little bit of the beast back into him. I will mention, there's a lot of 5mm ports all across these toys. So like shoulder, forearm, thigh, shin, ankle, foot, back of thigh, back. And a lot of that is for potential combinations, but also it's open invitation to just kind of play. And that's what this toy line is really good at, just finding ways to play with it. So the modular abilities of these toys is really kind of open to your interpretation. You get to do pretty much whatever you want with them, and that's kind of what makes it fun. There's weird combinations, and I'm probably going to show off a lot of my blue sky, so follow me over there. As I goof around with these over the weekend, I'm probably going to be doing a lot of weird amalgamations of them. So, articulation rundown. He does not have anything in the neck, but Hydrophant does have those weird torso hinge plus shoulder swivel articulation, which I never like, but small toy. What can you do? The elbow is 90-degree bend, and of course we saw that rotation as part of the transformation. The waist does have that rotation. You have a ball joint in the thigh, which does plenty of motion. For those people who get upset over hollow plastic, there you go. A lot of it's in the leg. You do have a thigh rotation just above the knee. Knee has a deep 180-degree bend because of the transformation itself. You can use all these hinges as well, but I wouldn't recommend it. He's not the most stable of boys, but he has a decent level of articulation for something this small. Let's be honest, when Hasbro puts out these inexpensive kids line toys, they do not have nearly as much articulation as this. So, on top of this, we do have his rear section, which becomes an axe. I'm going to go ahead and plug it into his left hand so it doesn't get in the way of his elephant head. The weird thing about these pegs is that the weapon pegs have a little notch. So, even though you can put 5mm ports weapons into his hands and all the other ports, the weapon can only go in certain ones, like the hands in this mode. It does mean the weapon has a limited amount of usability, but I'll tell you what, I'll let you in on a little secret. The tusks are on 5mm ports as well. So if I want to give him a couple of little hand blasters, I can do that too. And to my knowledge, none of the other toys in this line do that. Obviously none of them have tusks, but they don't have like secret extra weaponry like that. So Hydrophant, aside from the fact that, I just really like the look and the design of the toy, I actually really enjoy the fact that, he's got a little bit more playability thanks to that. So, bonus points. Probably one of the better ones so far. Just as a rundown too, yes, you are going to see a lot of repeat parts across these toys. Now, the upper arms on him are different, and the lower arms as well, though Leafback shares those. And then the thighs are going to be shared on Leafback, and then the knee assembly is mostly the same across all of them. The pelvis is the same. The body is the same. Like, you're going to get a lot of repeat stuff. So don't be surprised these feel a little bit repetitive for a while, because they all kind of have to do the same thing. And what they have to do is combine. So let's get this back on where it's supposed to go. I'm going to need the head off anyway, so we'll go ahead and reassemble and then set that aside. You go ahead and need your axe too. You go ahead and take that. And yeah, let's just strip you down completely. Why not? Alright, so we got to get him back into something of a condensed mode. Go ahead and flip the head back down. Reconnect the shoulders like so. Reconnect the thighs. Make sure all those are pegged in. You're going to want to pay attention. So those tabs have to fit into these slots. So we're already primed to do that. Go ahead and bend the knees all the way up. Make sure those connect in place. Now, if I do this, this is pretty much the official mode that they want those energy beasts to be in. Whether he becomes an arm or a leg, you're going to have to put him exactly like this, and then it's just a matter of where the animal parts get attached. Now, keep in mind, the modularity of these means you can kind of play around. I'll get to that in a minute, but for now, I need to reframe, and we need to get Optimus in here. Alright, now we got our Energy Master Optimus Prime ready and waiting for his second limb to be attached. So we will go ahead and do that like so. Go ahead and just connect him onto the bicep. The elephant head is going to form the rest of his shoulder guard. So go ahead and make sure the double peg is flipped out. I'm going to go ahead and attach it up there like so. And then to finish it off, there we go. That water chest, that water plate, whatever we want to call it, goes there, and that is Optimus Prime now combined with 2 of the energy beasts. So, Hydrophant does make for a nice limb. The blue definitely works with the Optimus Prime. So, as usual with these, I encourage you to mess around. So, like, I find that, if I kind of play around with the shape here and kind of work the articulation, I can get him to fold up the legs like that. And that creates a little bit of a cleaner profile, and I think makes the arm look just a little bit beefier. So I'll go around and close that up too. And you know what? Just because I like the angle on the light long over here, I'm going to go ahead and make sure the elephant head tries to match that as much as I can. So, there you go. Now, in this mode, the arm is going to lose most of its articulation. I will admit, this combination is going to make you sacrifice a little bit, because it should be able to rotate at the bicep. If you want to leave the arm stuck out, it still can. I just think this looks a lot cleaner. And then you also have a wrist rotation and bend down here thanks to the waist joint and the thigh joints. That does break the transformation though, which, by the way, fold up these feet too. Again, cleaner. And that's pretty much what you got for your combinations. Now, obviously, he doesn't have to be the left arm. He can be the right arm. Or, if you've got enough of these guys, they can also be one of the legs. Now, in order to show you the leg mode, I need to go get Megatron. And here I was worried you wouldn't get to see much of the review stage, because I was reviewing such a small toy. I underestimated how big Megatron gets when he's got all 4 beasts. Okay, so I don't really need to go over it again, so I'm just going to show you that, yeah, you're going to stick these out just to make sure they're clear while you do this. For the leg combinations, you're going to want the beast legs to stick out the back. I like folding them down just to make it sure it's a little bit cleaner. I like a clean profile on the toy. Hydrophant's head is going to basically form a kneecap. So again, make sure the double peg is out. Rotate everything down to make it a little bit more flush of a design. And then I'm going to bring in Megatron, connect him right there at the knee. And from there, oh, I forgot the little blue piece that's going to complete the chest. All right. So we've seen promo shots of this before, but here it is on camera, all 4. Well, 4 of the 5 anyway. And that is how the leg mode looks. And as you can see, these get pretty impressive and kind of Megazord looking, if I'm going to be honest, once they are fully combined like this. Yeah, it's a pretty imposing toy design. And obviously, again, there's a lot to do with it. There's a lot you can play around with. I didn't even show you how to attach the axes, which is just to the end of the fist like this, and I hate that, so I didn't do it. But again, you got plenty of pegs and holes to fill in here, so you got plenty of room to basically mess around with these as much as you want and figure out your own combinations and how these work. I will tell you that the leg combinations do not change the articulation in the least. His hip and his knee is still completely unhindered, so you can absolutely use that. And when these guys are in this like 4-piece mode, you can also store away the forearms of the larger Energy Master toy inside the now feet, which used to be his actual legs. And that gives you a little bit of storage so you don't start losing parts of your main toy. But that, my friends, is Hydrophant, another one of the Wave 1 Energy Beasts, and probably my favorite yet. I mean, it might just be the Mega Man fan in me that loves the two-tone blue, but I also like the sturdier look it has in the Beast mode. I like the extra accessories that may or may not have been intentional. And yeah, again, these are just fun. It's one of those gimmicks where the more you buy, the more fun you're going to have with it. So I'm kind of going to be in these for the long run, it seems like. But there you go. Just in case you were curious about the toy, because that's what the review's about. And these are not easy to get, so this is important. So, tomorrow, we're going to talk about the last one from Wave 1. So stay tuned for that. And thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time.
Hello everyone, I am Astral Agent Magnetar, a Tokusatsu VTuber, and I am streaming 4 times a week over on Twitch, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday afternoons, and a special late night one on late Friday/early Saturday. So come watch, come hang out, and let's make an impact together.